Going on, Falcon fans? It's your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're gonna talk about the fact that you always have to build through the draft. That's really where it starts. When you're trying to build a team, you always want to talk about your draft because most of your players are gonna come from those day 2 and day 3 picks. I know everybody looks at the day 1 pick and get all excited about the day 1s, but majority of your team is going to be day 2 and day 3. So you have to build through the draft. You have to make sure you hit on some of those day 2 and day 3 picks. And you had hopefully those guys get better, come in those upcoming years. We always talk about the cliche year jump from year 1 to year 2, things like that. And today we're going to talk about 2 guys that I think really needs to have that jump from year 1 to year 2, considering, the moves that the Falcons made. Not going out and getting a pass rusher in the draft until the 3rd round, bringing in Zach Harrison. But both of these guys were drafted last year. The coaching staff, the front office will believe in these guys, but these guys have to put in the work. Hopefully they did this offseason to get better. And we're going to talk about both of these guys today. Guys, before we get into that, if you haven't already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know I drop another video. Please hit like buttons. I know you guys out here I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So the first player we're going to get into, number 47, Ebiketie, who had 30 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and about 501 snaps last season. Also played like 9 snaps on special teams. But from a defensive standpoint, he did not start. It was Ade Okendeji and Lorenzo Carter who actually got majority of the starts. I think Ebiketie did have 1 start last year, but he came in, he played significance. His PFF grade had him ranked 64th on all edge defenders. He actually played better in the run versus the pass, which that means he got to work on some pass moves and things like that. But he had over 28 pressures. You guys know, sometimes a lot of people talk about sacks, and actually sacks are good, but sacks sometimes is falling guys' lap. Sometimes, somebody else will run the quarterback into a guy, he get a sack and things like that, even though it's a good stat to have and you want to get the quarterback out of the ground. But the pressures are probably what most people probably look at and take a little more things because you're getting the quarterback off his spot. And the more times you can do that, get the hits on the quarterback and get pressures, that's when you want to start looking at. So Ebiketie had 28 pressures and he had 16 hits on the quarterback last year. So he's getting there, not quite finishing yet. He was 3rd on the team with 2.5 sacks. That's why the Falcons only had 21 sacks, right, behind Grady and Lorenzo Carter. But looking at a guy like Ebiketie, he has to make that jump. This is one of the reasons why the Atlanta Falcons decided not to go out, in the 1st and 2nd rounds and actually get an edge rusher, because they feel like they drafted a guy last year who they actually moved up, in the 2nd round to actually go pick. So Ebiketie, he has the skills, he has the trait, he's there, just a little bit off. Like I said, he plays really good in the run already. He was also actually good in coverage according to PFF. So Ebiketie has to make that jump from year 1 to year 2. But now is the time he can actually get the whole entire offseason. You got to remember, these rookies coming out of college, they get so much, get ready for the draft. Not a whole lot of football training. It's all about, combines and running and things like that. And just try to, put the metrics out there to get actually to get on a team. But now they actually get to have an offseason, go out, work on the things. They got film that they can watch, different, offensive linemen that they went up against all season, things they need to work on, things like that. The coaching gave them pretty much homework to do for the entire season, off season, before they can come out, and when they come back to training camp this year, come back to the off season workout programs, they're 100% better. So that's what we're looking at for a guy like Ebiketie, 2nd round pick. And if he can make that jump, it's just going to bolster up the additions to the team that the Atlanta Falcons had already brought in with those free agents. A guy like Bud Dupree, bringing back Lorenzo Carter, Calais Campbell, those guys, and you add Armor Ebiketie into this. I really like the things that he's able to do. Call himself the sack doctor. Well, he gonna have to get to work because 2.5 sacks is not gonna pan out. But one good thing about the Atlanta Falcons defense, all the guys they brought in, you know, if you can just combine all those sacks, that's another over 20 sacks that the Falcons added to the team. So, you know, that's put our number up to a total of 40-some sacks. If they can do something like that this season, that would be a big jump from one year to this year. But you hoping a guy like Armor Ebiketie actually have the jump that we need him to have. So, guys, let me know what you think about Armor Ebiketie. Do you think he has the chance to increase that number to at least 6 sacks, go from 2 to 5 to 6? If he do that, like I said, and everybody else chip in, we can have the sacks. I don't know if we got a 10-sack guy on the team right now, but if you get 5 or 6 guys giving you 5 or 6 sacks, that's where you want to be at, and your number is skyrocket that way. The next guy will be D'Angelo Malone, who actually played a little bit more on special teams, but he did flash a couple of times when he got in there on the defensive side of the ball. He had 29 tackles, 1 sack, and 216 snaps. He actually had 4 tackles for a loss and 7 quarterback pressures. So if you go back to Western Kentucky where D'Angelo Malone, he stayed in the backfield. His motor is unbelievable. I think for him, he just need more opportunity to actually get out there. No, bringing in those veteran guys, you know, could limit him to getting his reps. But once again, a guy like D'Angelo Malone, you know, take the film, the study, and things like that, and hone those skills. So when you come back from off season, have the whole entire off season to work on your game. Maybe gain a little bit more weight for D'Angelo Malone, for he can take on those tackles on the outside and things like that. But I really believe that D'Angelo Malone is primed to take a jump as well, just like Armor Ebiketie. And like I said, this is the reason why I felt like the Falcons felt that, you know, of course, you're looking at the numbers from last year and things like that, but you have a good development program in your, you know, on your team, and you believe in your draft picks. You believe in that those guys going to take that jump from year 1, like I said, to year 2, so you can be, you know, solid with adding the guys you add in the free agents and hoping these 2 guys develop like you want them to develop. That's how you build a team, build through the draft. Still got these guys on the cheap contracts, because if you go out and spend a lot of money on a known commodity, you're going to lose in other places because of the dollars. It is a cap league, so you got to play with the, you know, the salary cap and things like that. I know people always say the salary cap always can be flexible, but you can just go back and look at the situation Atlanta Falcons was for so long, where they had so many guys tied up with all the funds, and they had to bring guys in around the fringes, and it just wasn't good enough. The team was real good, talented in certain spots, but the depth was non-existent and things like that. The Atlanta Falcons trying to change that, and having 2 guys like D'Angelo Malone and Armor Ebiketie that's able to develop and be better from year 1 to year 2. That's what we want to see. So let me know what you think about both of these guys. Do you think their jump is going to be what we need to see added with the pieces that we have? I do. Looking at the development program, looks like if you look at a guy like Richie Grant, his jump that he had from 2021 to 2022 was really, really good. So I'm anticipating the same thing. We never really got to see a guy like Jalen Mayfield because he had a back got injured, but I would really be interested to see his jump and how well he did. Another guy, Drew Dahlman, if you look at his jump, actually started all season last year. You expect Drew Dahlman to actually be better as well. So those are kind of things that you want to look at, and hopefully you can see these guys have that jump from year 1 to year 2. So guys, this is my first series of looking at year 2 players and their potential, and see what they can bring to Atlanta Falcons in this 2023 season, adding to the team, making the team even better than we can expect. So guys, this is your boy Recondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.